In my 20s, I stumbled into something I didn't even realize I was doing. It's called the FIRE movement. Financially independent, retire early. But here's the thing, in my early 20s, I was not trying to retire early. I just naturally gravitated towards the lifestyle that makes it possible to retire early. And that's when everything clicked into place. Looking back, I was already living the FIRE philosophy without even knowing it had a name. I was naturally frugal, I genuinely enjoyed saving money, it just felt good. And I was very intentional with how I spent my money. My living situation is what kept my expenses extremely low. I was renting a house with a friend, so the rent was split and very manageable. My car was a 15-year-old Acura that ran perfectly fine. I had no car payment and there was no reason to upgrade. This simple foundation meant that my monthly expenses stayed very low. But I wasn't sacrificing anything. I had one hobby I absolutely love, which was golf. If you play golf, you know it's not a cheap hobby, especially if you play a lot. But here's what I figured out. I could still play golf multiple times a week and save aggressively because I was ruthless about cutting the things that I didn't actually enjoy. Eating out? Honestly, I never really loved it anyways, so cooking at home was an easy choice. And it had a bonus. It supported my fitness goals. Speaking of fitness, instead of paying for a monthly gym membership, I built a small workout room with some adjustable dumbbells and a pull-up bar. This allowed me to do a full workout and stay in shape right in my own house. I didn't have to drive anywhere or pay for a reoccurring membership. By keeping my big expenses low and doing the few things I truly loved, something amazing happened. I was saving and investing over 50% of my income. And here's the craziest part. I didn't even feel like I was sacrificing anything. I felt like I was living my dream life. And then I discovered the FIRE community. Then the math started clicking. If I can maintain this trajectory or even find ways to save a little more, I can retire by 40. This would be decades before the traditional retirement age. I was so excited in ways I'd never been about finance before. But then life happened. I met the love of my life, I got married, and within a few years we started having kids. And suddenly everything shifted. A bigger house became necessary, my savings rate dropped from 50% down to around 20%, and my overall expenses have increased. My early retirement date, it has been getting pushed back, probably to somewhere around 50 instead of 40. And you know what? I am perfectly okay with that. Having a family is more rewarding than I could have ever imagined. Those family trips, the everyday moments, making memories with people I love, it's changed my entire perspective on what wealth actually means. And the beautiful thing here is I'm still gonna retire early because of those early years when I invested aggressively. I am now at a point where compound interest is doing the heavy lifting for me. Even with a lower saving rate and higher expenses, I get to enjoy my family while still securing the future I want. If I could go do it all again, I would do it exactly the same way. Every single choice. Here's what I want you to understand. Saving 50% is very aggressive, and some might say I was depriving myself. But part of the reason I did it is because I knew life could throw me curveballs. I wanted options, I wanted flexibility, and I wanted to set up my future self to live the life that I actually wanted to live, whatever that looked like. And guess what? It worked, because now I have the flexibility, I can dial back the hustle, I can spend more on the things that matter, and I can be present with my family and my kids. Because these are the years that fly by, and I don't want to miss them. If you're thinking about retiring early, or if you just want to make sure you have options when you're older, here's my challenge to you. Start investing today. Not tomorrow, not next month, today. Because time is your biggest advantage when it comes to investing and letting compound interest do its work. Set up automatic investments, make them small if that's all you can afford, but start building the life you actually want to live. The power of compound interest isn't just about money, it's about freedom and it's about options. You don't have to know exactly what your future looks like, you just have to be willing to build towards it. That's the real reason I saved so aggressively early on. Hopefully my story has inspired some of you to start your journey towards financial freedom. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.